You're listening to Internationally Unfiltered, the podcast where nothing is off limits and everything is unfiltered.
Yo, literally it never fucking fails. Every time I hit record, bitches want to start chattering.
Well, it's a podcast, so go with it.
Ooh. Right. Well, hello everybody. Hi. We're just
familia.
We're gonna just leave it like that. This week is gonna be kind of crazy, kind of cuckoo, like Keishla. So.
Okay.
What's up? How you bitches doing?
Well, thanks. Hi guys.
How you bitches doing?
Hi.
Hola familia.
Ew, why'd you say?
Survivor.
Ew, why'd you say? Hola familia. Ew, what the hell was that?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
You did.
You really did. Like, what's going on behind that microphone that we don't know about?
Oh.
Yeah, thank God the video is off.
Thank God, because anyway.
Turn it on. Anyways, what?
I feel like everybody's ganging up on me today. What?
So, ladies.
Oh my God.
Part two of our series of getting to know us. And this week, who we got?
We're talking about this lunatic, the lovely Keishla.
Keishla.
I was gonna say cornflay. Like, never mind. It's a Spanish thing because K flay. Never mind.
That's with a C, baby.
I know.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
Okay. Well,
Here's
this week's so this week's episode is about Beka and Beka. That was last week.
What?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, let me get a cold brew for this woman.
No, it's because I just saw her name pop up, so she popped up. I'm sorry. This week's about
I made her mind.
It's about Keishla. Fuck Beka. Beka ain't shit. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna learn about Keishla's crazy ass, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Similar to how we do with Beka's.
I got the giggles. I can't. I'm sorry.
We're on something today. I don't know what it is, but
I'm just straight up nervous. I don't know.
Similar to what we did with Beka last week, we are going to each ask 3 questions. We have different segments about life, career, and then personal questions. So Keishla has been prepped. She is ready to answer, and I guess if we're ready, we can go ahead and dive into the life questions. I think Beka's going to kick it off.
Do it. Yes, Keishla. My first question to you is if you have any siblings, and if you do, you're close to them?
Actually, I do. I do have siblings. I have older siblings. I have brother and sisters. And, well, this is kind of bittersweet because I'm not really as close to them as I wish I was. I feel like I am way closer, for example, to my cousins than my own siblings. And I have an explanation for this one. It's just that my siblings, they're from a past relationship. We're not siblings from the same mother. And they moved at a very young age to the United States. So, like, we didn't, for X or Y reason, like, we just couldn't keep up with communication. It was really tough. We didn't talk as much. Whereas, for example, my cousins, they live on the same island as me, and every weekend they are always constantly hitting me up, like, yo, Keishla, you got anything to do this weekend? Do you work? And we're constantly doing something together, going to the beach or road trips. But like I said, I have a closer relationship with my cousins than with my siblings, but that is all about to change. Because my brother recently came back to Puerto Rico and he moved, and we're working on that relationship thing, and we're trying to form a closer bond, which is really good, really healthy. I think I'm the kind of person that thinks everything should be done at its own due time, and I think this is the moment for me and my brother to reconnect.
So I have a question, and this is kind of bouncing off of what you just talked about, but I know you're just, very proud of your culture and where you're from. So I want to know, how would you describe your family and your family's culture?
I think that Vilma is going to back me up on this. Latino culture or Latino families are very highly family oriented. So we're really close. My family is really, really extremely close to each other, but we're also really passionate. And like, I want to explain the passionate thing. For example, if we're happy about something or a specific event or something happened to a family member, the whole family usually knows about this, and we like celebrate it, and we're all happy about it, and we celebrate it to extreme. Like, if necessary, we will do a party about it. And like on the other extreme, if one family member, there's like a conflict or an argument or like something, tension, it's like a war zone. It's very extreme. Like the whole family's like bickering, everything. But you know, it's a part of who we are. We also get to sit down and talk about it. There's usually a mediator in the family. Usually that's me. We talk about it and we chat about it, but it's like we're really close to that point. Like if somebody's arguing, everybody's in it. And if somebody's happy, everybody's happy. So yeah, like it's very family oriented.
I love that. I think that's so cool that you guys are so passionate. And also I envy the whole, like, you guys celebrate like in a huge way. I think that's freaking amazing. And I wish my family did more of that.
It's so important, and I really wish we had the same as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna chime in when she was like, oh, you know, Vilma can relate, because we don't really need much of a reason to celebrate something or to get together. Like, I guess it's just how it is with our family. But you know, I guess this kind of goes, you know, tied in with my question. What's it like living in Puerto Rico, and like, what are your favorite things about being from there? I mean, I know there's a lot, but like, try to narrow it down to like your favorite, like top 5.
Oh my God. I think I can narrow it down maybe to top 3 or 4. First of all, literally living here, this is a total paradise. I am not kidding you. This is paradise. For example, I live more towards countryside or mountainside per se, because there's the countryside over here is technically living on the mountain. So I get the blessing to, every time I get off of work every day, I drive from work to my home, and I have to literally experience every single beautiful nature giving part of the island. I drive to the coast and literally see the beach every day, to then get to the mountainside, which is a whole nother experience in itself nature wise. And I think it's really a blessing. It's really soothing to get to see that every single day. So I think my favorite thing about living here is mostly, as to my favorite thing, wow, I have to say the culture. I think that no matter where I go in this world, Puerto Rico will always be a part of me. And like, if I ever move to the States, it will be nostalgic in the sense of the culture. It's very, very rich in culture. You really get to experience that, especially in the holidays, where you see mostly the traditions and the music and the dances, and you see like family gathering in, and that's where you really like experience that. And no matter what part of the world I go to, that is something that will always be nostalgic for me and will be a part of who I am. So yeah, that's my favorite thing about living on the island, is getting to explore every single chance that I get.
I'm so like jealous, because it's like I've seen pictures of like where my family's from in Puerto Rico, and like my parents from like before I was born, and you're not kidding, like it's literally paradise. And I'm just so jealous. I haven't gotten the chance to go back. Like, you literally live where I would want to visit like every single day if I could.
It's amazing. And if anybody out there listening really wants to travel and you're really considering Puerto Rico, like, give yourself a chance. It really is amazing. It's really good. Not right now, because right now it's like mayhem all over the world, but I do really recommend it. It's a good place to wind down and unplug.
That's definitely on our bucket list as a group, to go to Puerto Rico together.
100%.
I'm mainly excited to one day visit for the holidays, because if, you know, DR, from what I experienced, goes crazy, I know Puerto Rico goes just as crazy as well, and if not more.
I personally think the best time to come to Puerto Rico, people usually say summer or the holidays, but for sure, hands down, the holidays. That's where you really like get to experience Puerto Rico 100%.
I really want to go one day. Really, really, really want to go. I'm a Latina at heart, and now everything you just said, I'm like, oh, I want to be there.
Come to me.
Yeah. So shifting from your life, which is amazing, I'm very interested in your career and what you chose as your career path. So why did you choose it, and what's your biggest motivation?
Oh my God. Okay, study-wise, I was in a bit of a roller coaster ride when I got into uni. Not a lot of people know this about me, but I actually entered in business administration, and I wasn't actually bad at it, but it required doing a lot of math, and math and I are not the biggest fans. I am dyscalculic. The difference between dyslexic and dyscalculic is dyslexic, you invert letters. Dyscalculic, I don't know if I'm saying it right in English, but dyscalculic is the person who inverts numbers. So I invert numbers. So math and I are not best friends. So yeah, I made a shift, and my counselor actually directed me towards social studies. And I actually did a major in social work with a minor in psychology. And in social work, you get to experience a lot of psychology courses. And that's where I completely fell in love with psychology, especially when we started learning the DSM and the mental disorders and seeing cases or learning about cases. And like I was fascinated about the idea of how the mind actually is so powerful and is so not controlling, but it has to do so much with the human being per se. And I was fascinated by that, and that's why I decided to do a master's in psychology. And I absolutely love it. I love social work too. They're very similar. They're tied at the hands, but social work is more focused on giving tools to help the individual outside of the mind. Psychology is more focused on the mind and the individual's thoughts and how that involves into the individual's actions. So I was fascinated by it.
It's so interesting how so many people I know, they went into business first and then they swapped to psychology for some reason.
My reason was that I hated math. Hated it. It was a hassle for me. It was hard, especially because of the dyscalculic thing.
Yeah, I'm not diagnosed with dyscalculia, but I think I am too, because I'm struggling. Okay, or maybe I'm just fucking stupid. Who knows?
It's not easy. Math ain't easy.
I know.
It's not. It's my absolute least favorite subject in all of the land. I wanted to go in psychology first, but ended up in business. So I'm kind of like swapped with you guys. Okay, so Keishla, my career question for you is, what is your ultimate dream job, and what steps do you have to take to get there?
Okay. My ultimate dream job, I definitely want to do a doctor's degree in the end. Not right now, because I have a master's degree. Definitely kick my ass, and it's a lot. So I'm definitely gonna take a break and eventually continue into my doctor's degree. But my ultimate dream job definitely is working for veterans. I feel like the veteran population is a population that's not really tended to, and the service they give is so much, and the love they give their country is so much, and I feel like they need so much, and they're the ones that receive the less help. So definitely is a population that is very underestimated, but I really do want to work with them. And the steps, well, exactly that. I guess I have to do a doctor's degree and gain a little bit more experience and just reach that goal.
So with the doctorate degree, do you need to like pass any type of exams? Do you have to get your license first, or is it kind of just like you need to apply and like test into a school? Like, how does that work?
I mean, you can get a license with your master's degree already, and the doctor's degree is like it's a requirement to work in the in the hospitals. How do you say that in English? In the hospital for veterans. You don't really need. You can get a license since you finish your master's degree, you just need to get a testing for the license, and that's it. I think the requirements to work in the Veterans Hospital is just to have a doctor's degree and have a few years of experience. So right now I'm working on that. I'm working on getting my license, and I'm, getting a little bit more of the experience to then continue on to my doctor's degree, and then eventually just reach the goal of heading into veterans.
That's so cool. I think that's really awesome that you want to work with veterans, because my sister, she is a dentist. She did her residency at a veterans hospital, and she loved it. So I think that's so cool. Definitely like a really amazing group of people that deserve really awesome care. So
yeah, I agree. And they receive so little and they need the most. So yeah, a lot of people don't want to work with veterans because they consider them highly difficult cases. But I mean, I've always loved a challenge. I've always loved the difficult cases. And yeah, I really want to work at least once with an antisocial disorder patient. And like that's, and like normal words, that's a sociopath. And I really, really, really want to at least one case.
They are very interesting. I had the chance to work with one once, and it was just, I don't know, like for us it's a different experience.
Oh my God, I need to talk to you about that. Like I need to hear more about that.
So what are your future plans with your career, Keishla?
Well, I for sure want to work with veterans, but more than that, I think I've always wanted to have a little something, because I'm not going to be, I mean, let's be real, I'm not going to be working forever. I eventually want to retire. But I do want to create something that I'm actually proud of, more so than my own career. I definitely envision myself, or always have this close to my heart, to create an organization that focuses on helping and finding the right resources for cancer patients and their families, and also for people who, aside from cancer, have gone through domestic violence. Like I want to create an organization, maybe 2 different organizations, one focusing on each, but that is one of my main goals in life. And I feel like personally knowing cases and personally going through that experience per se, I know that there's not a lot of resources or organizations or help, or at least in this island or in my country, to help these kind of people. And it's something that I have close to my heart, and it's something that I'm goal oriented to do, and I will find a way and I will do it eventually.
That is so admirable. That's amazing.
I'm manifesting so hard that you're gonna do this, because I know you will, and you will do it amazing as well. Kind of, we are shifting to your personal questions, and I think this is like kind of relating to what you just said. And my question is, what's one thing you've learned about yourself, and what are you the most proud of?
Oh my God. I'm gonna answer this backwards. The most proud of that I am is obviously having reached, educationally wise, the degree that I did. I think that I'm really proud of that. Also, I am the first person in my family to ever reach this high of a degree. Nobody has had a license or a master's degree. They all got stuck either in high school or a college degree, and that was pretty much it. So I feel very proud of myself for not stopping where everybody else usually stops, and for wanting to strive for more and not giving up on myself, I guess. The one thing that I learned about myself, if you would have asked me this question 4 or 5 years ago, I would have not known the answer. But due to the things that have happened recently in my life, I definitely have to say that I've discovered that I'm the base of my family. Like, I feel like my family looks to me for strength, which is really funny because I don't consider myself a strong person at all. But my family 100% or 98% of the time looks to me for strength, and for being that moral compass, and for being that mentally strong. in the occasions that are really dire for my family. And again, I don't see myself as a very strong person at all. But when push comes to shove, if my family is at a weak point or is crumbling, or like the building's gonna fall, I am going to be that strong suit. I'm gonna find strength what I don't even knew I even had to keep my family going strong. So I think that's one of the things I've learned about myself recently.
You are definitely a strong person. And like one thing while you were talking, I was thinking that what you've gone through, and you've gone through it like a pro, and that's because you're a strong person. So yeah.
With what you were saying about being your family's rock, I can definitely agree to that and see that. Obviously, me and Keishla are very close. We've been friends for, almost 2 years, I would say, and you are always there for me when I need you. Like, you put down everything you're doing to make sure that I'm okay, even if you're necessarily not. So that just speaks volumes as to, the point that you were making with your family. So I'm just, advocating for what you said. It's definitely
sorry
true.
I was going to say that Keishla is the type of person who can be crying, and then you feel down, and she will wipe her tears, and we'll be like, okay, now let's focus on you, make you smile, and then I go back to my
Exactly.
crying session.
I love you guys. I cannot see someone I love suffer, because that makes me suffer twice as hard. And I like, it's energy. If my energy and the people who surround me constantly are not in a good place, how am I going to be in a good place? So it all balances out eventually, I guess.
That's true.
So Keishla, my question for you is similar to what I asked Beka last week. What does your daily routine look like, and what do you like to do for fun? / do you have hobbies that you do like day to day? Do you follow a routine? Do you kind of just live spontaneously? Like, what does that look like?
Well, yes. I actually have, I don't know, maybe 2 different routines per se. My routine for my days off, I guess. And comparing to Beka, like, Beka's life is amazing. I'm gonna be like John Fest over here, but anyways, I usually just wake up in the morning, go straight up to prepare my coffee, and this is I do every single day now, because I'm trying to focus on a more mental stable place recently, and I feel like this is working for me. I usually make my coffee, and while I drink my coffee, I read at least 1 or 2 chapters of a book every morning, and I feel like this gives me a little bit more of an insight or a better perspective on my day, or ups my mood. And like, yeah, it also, I don't know, I feel like it's mentally healthy to educate myself on something. I definitely learn something new with each chapter, so that's really refreshing. And on my days off, usually it'll switch. Some days I'll just do a self-care day, I'll work out, do manicures, pedicures, like a spa day, have a movie marathon, have a dance-a-thon in my own living room. And this is all during Corona. Pre and obviously post-Corona, I am up, like, I love my island so much, and not to be biased, but it's such a beautiful place, and you literally, there's so much to do here. It's such a small island, but you can find anything to do. So I cannot wait for Corona to be over, because I'm usually the kind of person on my days off to go on road trips, like random, extremely random road trips. Wherever my car takes me to, wherever we land, that's where we're gonna explore. I love to go to the beach. It's nature here. I also really love to go to the rivers. Like, I cannot wait to just explore the island. There's so much to do. I'm doing a little bit of a list with my closest friends, and we're like planning already after Corona is over where we're gonna go. We're actually gonna go zip lining. Once this is over, we have, I think, the longest zip line in the American continent and the longest zip line in the world. So I definitely want to do that. There's how do you say this in English? It's a finca.
Inca. Coño,
Got
I
you there,
forgot.
right?
Yeah,
I got you there.
You got me there.
A finca, well, it's a place where you can grow plants, and it's a specific type of plant. For example, there's a finca of cafe, which is a finca of
Oh, wait a
coffee,
minute.
and it's only place
A botanic garden.
a botanic garden, but it's specifically of one plant per se. So there's a finca of coffee, so it's only plants of coffee. There's a finca of roses, then it's only plants from roses.
It's
So
a
there's
farm.
there's a farm here, but they only grow sunflowers, and I've seen so many pictures. It looks so beautiful, and it's something else that I haven't had the experience to do. Definitely want to do. I also want to explore the south of the island. We're having a lot of earthquakes on that zone specifically. That's the epicenter. But I definitely, in the south of the island, there's this ferry ride where you can see the bioluminescent bay, and the bottom of the ferry is completely glass. So you get to experience it like full force. I mean, there's so much to do, and I want to do so much. So yeah, it all depends on my day.
Well, okay, we're making a whole list for when we come and visit you because that sounds insane.
Please.
I want you to bring me to that sunflower place because that sounds magical. Like that sounds
Done.
incredible.
Done.
Like I don't care if you take me there and you're like, oh, I'll pick you up in 2 days. I'll be straight for those 2 days. I'll be happy.
Push my ass down that zip line. I'm ready.
Done. I'm so ready for the zip line.
I'd be the one, like the one to get fucked up with a zip line is me. Like everybody has a smooth ride, having fun, having a blast, and then it's my dumbass that gets on and poof, I just fall on the ground.
You know what I really want to do recently, and we can't because like the beaches are closed. Like right now because of Corona, the government's like really strict. The beaches are closed. There's a lot of things closing down. We still got curfew. So I really, really cannot wait for the beaches to reopen and just do a good paddleboard session. Cannot wait.
Well, if you're doing that, take me, please. Please.
Will do.
Please take me. Like I don't care if it's paddleboarding or surfing. Any one of the two, I'm straight with those.
I mean, you can fit in a box. Just like I'm waiting for UPS to drop you here one day.
You know what?
She can fit in a box.
I mean, I don't know if you remembered, but I fit inside Madison's box.
Oh,
I know.
Oh, wait, that
That's why I
sounds
said
wrong.
it.
That sounds
Leave it
wrong. Hold on. It sounds wrong. I mean, I could possibly, go in and then come out rebirth. But the thing is, I meant Madison had an actual box, and I was snuggled in that box.
Does.
Oh my god.
All right. All right. Moving on to my last question. Moving on, ladies. So my last question. So life after Maria, how are you personally holding up with like everything that happened there, like since then?
Whoa, that's a very abundant. How do you say that? Abundant question. Like in what terms do you mean? Like mentally, economically?
I guess you can have like one for each, like mental, spiritual, economical, like whichever one you want to answer, honestly.
I mean, Jesus, Maria wasn't back in 2017, and I think mentally everybody still has this PTSD. Like, for example, we've experienced in the past month, I think less, we've experienced already 2 tropical storms, and it was mayhem. Like the island was chaos. People were panicking, especially with this last one that happened this weekend. It was gonna hit closer to home, so everybody was panicking. Finding water was hard. Finding specific type of food was hard. Finding matches was hard. Like everybody was starting to panic, and like Maria was. A lot of people say that Maria was a Category 4 hurricane, and yes, it was. But in all honesty, it arrived to the island as a Category 5 hurricane. So we technically got hit by a Category 5, which is the highest one in the scale. And it was so catastrophic to the point that a lot of people lost their homes. Over 3,000 lives were lost. A lot of people had to migrate out of nowhere from the blue start from scratch in the States without wanting to leave the island, but they had literally no other option. So thinking back to that, it was very, very hard. And aside from the fact, thinking like 5 months minimum without power, water service, like thinking going back to that is really tough, especially now during this pandemic. Like, what else? Like, can we handle this? A lot of people didn't know if they were safe enough to go into refugees, for example. And like, this is a piece of island. We have nowhere else to run. Like, we can't just like in the States, for example. I know I'm praying really hard for the state of Texas and Louisiana, because I know they're like moving from one state to another, because it's going to be really, really tough. But for example, we can't do that. We can't run away from it. We have to stick to it. We have to face it. So personally, I feel like we've grown. We still have PTSD from it. Economically, Puerto Rico is not in the best state in the world. During Maria, we felt, and I say we because that's the feeling of most people here on the island, that we felt kind of abandoned. We felt abandoned by the states. We felt abandoned by FEMA. Like, FEMA left a lot of water bottles just laying there for the sun to hit them, and that could have been helpful for a lot of people, for example. So a lot of people didn't get the economical help to rebuild their homes when their homes were destroyed and they need to be fixed. So it's a lot of things. I think we live and we learn, but I think the biggest lesson that I can take and we can all take is Puerto Rico came out of this knowing we're strong, we're resilient people, and above all of that, we rise to the occasion, we unite even more, because right now my community has not been more united in the whole time they've known each other. We are really, really close right now. For the last storm, my neighbors brought me soup, whereas before we wouldn't even wave to each other. So I think, like, to bad things, good things come too. So yeah, I feel like it's one day at a time. I mean, no storm lasts forever. Everything bad will pass, and it's like discovering a new side of yourself, I guess. Does that answer your question, Vilma?
Yes. And honestly, it's very true what you were saying. You guys are really like resilient people, and you guys really came through together. And I mean, it just still happens, but you guys are like steady and firm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, we have to face it. We can't run away from it. So we gotta find that strength where we didn't even know we had it.
Yeah, you guys are so strong. I feel like if it's not one thing, it's always like something else for you guys. So my heart goes out to you and everyone there, but it does sound like it's brought you guys pretty close, which is really cool. And you made a great point, like, people in the States can move to another state for the time being, where you guys just have to kind of face the storm, which is very scary, but you guys are so strong. So
yeah, I've always said that we can survive a zombie apocalypse if it ever happens.
I believe it, honestly,
yes, because all you guys really need is just a machete and some holy water.
You have those avocados the size of like basketballs. You can just
my god. Okay, so anyone,
I'll tweet it.
Not anyone, but like no one knows this. The Keishla sent us a photo of her avocados the other day, and they were the size of a mango. And I was like, "What are those?" They're huge ass avocados. It'll feed me for a week and a half.
Hey, I'm gonna tweet that photo. I'm gonna tweet it.
You definitely should. Like, those were insane.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up the episode, I do want to jump into the Twitter question of the week. So we picked one that was sent in from you guys. This one is from Jackie at NanaGirl517. Before I say the question, I just want to say, Jackie, huge shout out to you. You are so supportive all the time. We love you so, so, so much.
Love you, Nanas.
Love you, Jackie.
The question that Jackie sent in for Keishla is, how has your culture shaped you?
Jackie, first of all, I love you. And second of all, I love this question because it actually, I read it and I was like, for 5 minutes straight thinking about Oh my God, what can I answer to this? It's a really, really good question. And I guess like my culture, yeah, back to it. I think I said this before. I think my culture definitely shaped me into recognizing that I am a person who's very family oriented. Um, I definitely I know for a fact that whenever I have a family and start having kids and everything, I know that I will be the base of my family, and that because I was raised with that was what I was taught, and to have this closeness with my partner, my husband, or my kids, and like aside from being family, where there's a friendship, and this is a we are gonna have a relationship based off of communication and honesty and respect and you know just and a lot of love. And another thing that my culture really shaped me into is like noticing and appreciating the diversity a little bit more. Like my culture is 3 races, and that is Native American, Africans, and Spanish. I mean, how diverse is that? And we literally our culture shapes from all 3 of those. You see it everywhere. You see it in the music. You see it in the language. You see it in the colors. You see it in the diversity of everything, traditions. Like we have Native American traditions that we keep, we have Spanish traditions that we keep, we have African traditions that we still have, and it's so beautiful. And like I've learned to appreciate that so much more from my family and from my culture.
That is so beautiful. I love that.
Thank you, Jackie. I really do love this question, and I can go out forever with this one, but I think it's pretty much those 2 key points: family and culture and diversity, I guess.
Yeah, you guys definitely have a lot of that. Well, we have a lot of that. I sometimes like I forget too that I'm like Puerto Rican as well, and I'm just like yeah, you guys.
Yeah, Vilma and I are probably related though.
We are fucking related. Okay,
Please
we are
find it
related.
out.
I'm 1,000% sure we're related. After I found out we both have Rivera, I was like, yeah, we're related. That's it. We're related.
If you are a descendant of, if you are family from Luisa Capetillo, we are definitely related because I am her great granddaughter. And for any of you who don't know, Luisa Capetillo was a social activist in Puerto Rico, and she was also the first woman in Puerto Rico to ever wear pants. And this is in the year 1919, which that was like a taboo back then, and she just didn't give a fuck. So thank you, great grandma, because I do not give a fuck either.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
And that's period.
Yeah.
And that's on
Yeah.
period. Well,
Yeah.
this episode was really beautiful. I loved learning so much more about Keishla, and it was just a bomb getting to know you more than I already do.
I know. Honestly, I love this series so much. Like this is like the best idea ever. Like I don't know who had it, but like it was just like a really great idea. So like
It was a drunken idea in your kitchen. Don't act like you forgot. This happened in your kitchen. Okay?
I think it's a great idea. I love it. I think so. What next time it's going to be my episode, and then last will be Vilma. Is that how we're doing it?
Yes.
Are you
can't
excited
wait to
for
hear
yours,
this.
Maddie?
I am. I kind of feel like how Keishla felt going into it. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like very interesting, but I'm sure you guys will pull some
You
interesting
are
things out of me. So
I'm going to ask you the most ridiculous questions ever. Watch.
all right, I'm ready.
I am.
But
going to.
guys, I think it's about that time we have to head out and sign out because I have to pee as always. I don't know why I always have to pee during the end of like the episodes, but I have to pee. But for those of you listening, thank you so much for joining us again on our 11th week
winner. The giveaway.
Yeah, so we picked our giveaway winner. Shout outs to Abby. But for those who are still wondering, yes, we're gonna do much more giveaways, in the near future. We're gonna actually start planning our international one, and then we're gonna do probably another one, but a themed one pretty soon in the US. So keep an eye out for that. But it's really cool doing this. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy the fuck out of like doing these giveaways.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I loved putting the package together and like thinking of what we're putting in it and all that. It was so good. I can't wait to do the international one.
That one's gonna be really fun, really cute.
Thank you
And
guys.
Abby,
for
I
all
hope you
of
really
your-
like your package.
Yes.
Abby, she's gonna love it. I mean, we really put like a lot of thought into it, and it's just perfect. I love it all. But
Thank you so much for your
yes.
support. We love you guys.
We love you guys, and
We
we'll
love
catch
you.
you on the next one. Bye.
Bye, familia.
Bye.